'cause it was there. We're art sluts.
What were you saying, Teri?
I'm just thinking about all kinds of stuff. You know, I spent most of the 2 years of my graduate school experience inhabiting a shantytown on the administrative lawn. And I honestly, one of the proudest things in my life was when we won and got the university to divest from the gold in South Africa. And I used to play that song. I used to play the Castleberry and Dupre song with Toshi Reagan, What Are We Doing in South Africa, every time I did my show on KOPN until it changed.
That's great.
You know, and then
That's
we were
amazing.
living outside in fucking shanties,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And then you
I mean, it
mentioned
just-
earlier the Midwest Women's Festival.
Oh, that was awesome.
And Anne, did you also go to that?
I went one time. I remember it was Rosalia.
Yes!
Rosalia.
Larry was in love with Rosalia. Oh my God.
Yeah, she was a great
Yeah,
guitar player.
yeah.
And I remember we were driving down. I'm trying to remember who else was in the car. Maybe it was Debo, Rosalia. I
Yeah,
can't
that was
remember if
really-
Sheila's with it. Sheila's probably, but yeah, we were driving topless
Yep.
to the women's, and I had that's the one and only one I know. Terry, you
Yeah,
were there,
yeah.
and there was a kind of famous author was there. God, now I'm drawing a blank. Science fiction, feminist science fiction author.
Wait.
I'll think of it in
Was
a
Is
it?
this the one down at the Ozarks that we're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
And then Terry was hanging out in the I forget what you guys called it, but it was like feminist empowered like bondage.
Yeah, the
something,
sexual
I think.
freedom.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
when we met Phoenix and Jessie Deerwoman and Oakleaf.
Oh,
Oakleaf used to be a nun.
They were
and
the
then
Dragon Women's Collective.
That's right. No, there were dragon women. 4 women lived on Dragonland
Yeah.
that was adjacent to the site where the Midwest Women's Festival was. And then there were these 2 women, Jessie Deerwoman. At first it was
Yeah.
Oakleaf,
Yeah.
and then later it was
Yeah.
Dragon Phoenix. And we moved them from Hot Springs, Arkansas, because their house got burned down
Yeah.
because they were accused of being witches. And so they had to move up to, and then they lived outside in the country. And then this is really where my whole trip that I'm doing now with Aphrodite Temple started. Those women who are in their 40s convinced the passel of 20-year-olds that the history of women and witchcraft was women getting together and having sex, that there never had been a devil, that was just made up, but that what we should do is tell each other our sexual fantasies and then enact them and take turns doing that. And we did that for a good 2 years, every full moon out in the country. And here's a song I wrote called Umbilical You, featuring Toy Piano.
Umbilical you, your gin stained heart has wakened me, staring at asphalt. Umbilical you, my rain-soaked eyes have taken me beyond any passions. Rock me like Aunt Jemima's baby. Throw me through Madonna's charm. Leave me stripped and old wallpaper, peeling into a man's arms. Fertility is blood on cotton. your blue black hair. Roll me in your sheets of plenty. Shock me with your razor sharp dew. Run through me like a loving puddle, slithering into two.
I didn't realize that you stayed connected to them. I remember
Until I left in '89, right? I got married to Larry, and we moved together to Eugene, Oregon, and I started teaching at the university and being a psychiatric social worker.
I just remember when I met the Dragon Women, and I remember trying to remember which one. It was the might have been Oakleaf. I'm trying to remember which one, but we were sitting down on the dock at the Women's Festival, and it was just me and her, and she asked me, sort of what I was doing with my life, and I was telling her about my job that I hated, that I wanted so badly to quit, and she was encouraging me just to quit, and I was like, well, I can't. I have a rent, and I have bills, and I have all this, and she's like, just do it. You can do it. Your life's not going to fall apart. You'll figure it out. And I think that might have been when I ended up in the basement of Sheila's house on a mat on the floor because I had quit my job. And Sheila's like, yeah, you can live here. There was a little shower down there.
I lived in that apartment. That was like my Mary Tyler Moore apartment.
My mat on the concrete
Mary Tyler
floor
Moore was my first feminist influence. Like Mary Tyler Moore was like, oh my God, she's like,
you're gonna make it after all.
But
I just thought like that's the
line.
I
just remember that woman really. You think about things that changed your life over time, but that conversation, when I saw what they were doing and how they were living, and these other women that I met at the Women's Festival, and I'm like, all these women have these cool jobs. I mean, some of them are living on the land, but some of them have, like, what's her name, who had the theater production company, and then the other women who were doing, the Kansas City musicians, and I was like, these women are like, they have cool jobs and they're successful, and I can get out of this mindset of I'm stuck in this job because I have rent to pay and this is my life. To what do I really want to do? Here's a song I wrote called Dorothy.
She was walking along a dirt country road when a whirlwind blew in her path. She started resisting and found herself lifting. She knew she could never look back. She awoke in a room with all windows shattered, just a beam of the sun breaking in. With both feet on the floor, she threw open the door, wondering where to begin. And there was a path of bricks colored yellow, seeming to say, follow me. Well, she started out running and dancing, and for the first time, she felt happy and free. Then she heard a noise in the woods, and it gave her a start. 'Twas a man made of tin. She befriended him, but the poor man, he had no heart. Well, these two walked together when they heard someone sighing off in a field of grain. 'Twas a scarecrow forlorn, stuck in a row of corn. It was obvious he had no brains. Well, they came to a forest, dark and foreboding as night began to fall. And out jumped a lion, roaring and leaping, but he had no courage at all. Well, these four walked together in search of their needs, all of them lonely and lost. For some courage, some love, just a reason for living, they were willing to pay any cost. The road was a long one, but they struggled on, determined to try to the end. When they came to a castle all sparkling with promise, and she was the first to go in. Well, as the story goes, they all got what they came for, all but a girl with no home. A man full of false pride said, honey, I'll take you for a ride in a balloon, but he left her standing alone. Then this lady appeared in a dress of white satin and said, Dorothy, dear, do as I say. Click your heels and turn, say you want to go home, and you'll be back in Kansas today. So she started clicking and turning, and then her childhood flashed through her head. She started screaming, I don't want to go back there. I hate Kansas. I'd rather be dead. Then all of a sudden, the castle was shattered by a thunderous, hard-hitting boom. Dorothy found herself flying out into the night with a witch on the back of a broom. room. And the Wicked Witch said, Dorothy, 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 why hang around a bunch of guys got no brains, no courage, no hearts? I mean, why fly in a balloon when you can do it on a broom? Now Dorothy's riding high over rainbows of all colors. She's never coming back. She likes it up there, shooting past the stars, riding down a moonbeam. She's laughing and singing. She's got no cares. Dorothy's riding high, you know that she's got her own free space. She's never coming back. She's finally got control. Flying past the sun, you know she's making her own whirlwinds. She looks down, she sees it all below. She sees it all behind, and she says, that was never mind. We're going to take a break. We'll be back.
And there was a super sweet little dyke culture. I mean, Farron, we'd go like all together to see Farron in Kansas City. And, you know, there was some really nice, I don't know. Debo and I did my gardening gig for a while, Tara Lieber. And we would ask the little old ladies whose roses we were gardening if we could do it without our shirts and if they'd let us, you know.
We brought Chris Williamson to Columbia.
Right, who lives outside of Eugene, Oregon now. Tret Fuhrer and Chris Williamson.
Yes.
All that music that I never would have been exposed to if I hadn't had that radio show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I got turned on to a lot of music from Teri and Pam both. And, I mean, that's the one thing I was kind of remembering is that I never grew up with a stereo. We had like a home stereo, and there was like 10 albums down there, and it was like, you know, Queen, Night at the Opera, and... Leonard Skinner, One More for the Road, and Elton John. You know, it's like these are the albums. Paranoid, Ozzy Osbourne, and so my development with that was always like people turning me on to music, and I was just like a sponge to like read this, look at this, listen to this, and just like you know, and
remind me how we ended up going to Arkansas.
To the Women's Weekend?
No, when we moved down there.
Austin, you mean
Austin? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Austin.
Oh God.
Well, Ann and Sheila went first, I think.
Well, Sheila and I had done a couple different road trips.
Yeah.
Dangerously in Bucky, and Bucky died, and then there was a second Bucky, which was no license tag, hadn't been registered.
It's a Volvo, right? An old Volvo.
I can't remember. I remember it was brown.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, I don't know where Sheila had gotten it, but Gretchen was supposed to come up.
Gretchen Phillips of Meat Joy and Two Nice Girls.
The Art Sluts were hugely influenced by a band from Austin called Meat Joy, fronted by Gretchen Phillips. You may know her from a later band called Two Nice Girls, who picked up the torch from Art Sluts. And let's listen to a song from Meat Joy called When Love is Irreverence.
Running out of me.
only fucking, just having fun. It's only fucking. Why isn't it?
Right, was supposed to come up and visit me and Sheila, and because we had been corresponding by letter, and something came up where she couldn't, and then Sheila and I said, well, do you want to go? And I said, yeah. And we got in that car, and we broke down at the border of Missouri, or maybe we got to Oklahoma, and it broke down, and Sheila was kind of like, easing into this truck stop. We got into this truck stop, and it was like, okay, well, we're going to hitchhike the rest of the way. I mean, just no question, And so we got in with these truckers, and they were just tweaked out on speed, you know. But I always felt really safe with Sheila. I felt like, you know, the two of us together, you know, there's nothing bad was going to happen. All right. Right now, I've got a really special Austin story for you. When Sheila and I were traveling, one of the super cool things that we did was we interviewed Daniel Johnston. This would have been in 1985, and it was in McDonald's in Austin. And so if you do not know who Daniel Johnston is, check it out, Google it. See the documentary, The Devil and Daniel Johnston. He was hugely influential in the Columbia, Missouri scene, as well as many, 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 many other places. Check it out.
Okay, wait, Sheila, these are where the vendors sit. You can just look. Oh. This is where, there's the masks. I want to get Teri one of those masks. This woman makes them. Nobody's there today. Usually there's like 8 or 10. Yeah.
Maybe it's Joanne. Polar bears are
Joanne who? Oh, really? Maybe.
The clown. That's what she does here. That's how she makes her living, is makes masks.
Wow. Wow.
Some hip cat with a guitar and a bandana.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, this is a familiar spot.
Really?
Egg roll?
Really? Remember she gave us an egg roll? There's another decent pie. They had an accordion. This guy down here, Record Exchange, has been so sweet. David, he's been really neat. He's a nice guy. I don't know if you might remember him, guy with glasses and just sort of normal looking guy. Yeah, he's real nice. This is where the street people hang out, usually right on those church steps. Yeah. Either there or right around the corner. There's a ledge that sticks out on these store windows. Out there a lot.
How's it going? Daniel Johnston.
We're here at McDonald's with Daniel Johnston.
All right, that's a great machine. I'm gonna.
Hey, I got that here when I first time I was doing it.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna buy a new one at Radio Shack so I can really start making tapes. You know. Yeah. Yeah, you guys ought to make them, copies of that tape and put them in the stores.
Well, thinking about it, yeah. There was a few when I first got into town. I had like 5 of them, and took I think 2 to Inner Sanctum and 2 to Record Exchange.
Yeah, I heard one playing one time at the Record Exchange. I recognize.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
They were playing in the. I heard, the girls were playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
that's good.
Mind if I take your picture?
Oh, no problem.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna grab some drink.
Where we're from up in Columbia, Missouri, I sent a tape of Yip Jump to Sheila, and she's been playing it around, and everybody likes it real well.
Getting some airplay on the radio up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On the radio?
Community station.
Oh, really? Well,
They did play it up there?
Yeah.
I got my better tape is for sale at the store. So
Which one's that?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have that one?
No.
It's only $2.
We ought to get it.
Some copies with me. I can pay you right now.
Oh.
Yeah. It's only $2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. God, I'm glad we caught you here.
Yeah. I'm looking for people who like my songs, and I like your songs too. I sent that to David Letterman. That'd be really cool.
We tried.
They probably play that right on the air.
Yeah, we sent one, but I guess it got stuck in a talent office or whatever.
Yeah.
And, but we're gonna, if you would, I would be really happy. We're gonna have a reunion show down here the first week in November, and if you would come, I would just be so happy.
Oh,
Yes,
I'd be glad to come, but I'm not playing out right now. I'm taking a vacation, but I'm.
No, just come and watch.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. You put me on the guest list, eh?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it should be in about 3 weeks.
Great. That'd be excellent.
Because we've got one more woman who's in the band who's coming down, and
It'll be the first time we've played together since February.
February, yeah.
We hear this new all-girl group called Chlorine.
No, haven't. Really?
Yeah, really good.
Well, I saw you build with them, and that night I was just really, I came home and I couldn't leave because I was just tired and depressed, and I just couldn't think of going to a show. No.
but I wanted to go that night.
These girls are really good. They're kind of, kind of rock and roll, like the Beatles. Like
All right.
I mean,
Like real simple melodies and stuff?
Really,
Good.
I'm trying to get them to do some of my songs. And you're welcome to do any of my songs.
I sing them all the time when I'm just bopping around.
Yeah, you guys know to do some of my songs.
I like the way you do them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do them your way if you like them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm always pushing my songs.
No, that's fine. No, it's like I don't know. It's just that
It's not a
songs
matter
are
of being pushed. It's just a matter of just maintaining their purity. Man.
Yeah, right,
They're
exactly.
just so perfect the way they are.
They're Daniel songs,
Yeah.
Wow. Golly.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can appreciate your music a lot.
I appreciate it.
But if you wanted to ever use any, like that Mushroom Man song, when I thought that's really weird because there's like simple melodies and Chinese guitar. Those are.
I really, particularly David Letterman, the singing on that. I mean, it really sounds like you really like David Letterman. I mean, you know what I mean? I really like that. It was a cool tape. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's wilder.
Yeah, that's true.
That's cool. I mean, that's what, writing songs or whatever, I don't know. You know what I mean? Most people aren't trying to say anything or whatever you got to say, you should say it. And I keep doing this with my hands lately. I don't know how to get a puppet, maybe.
Well, it's better than going.
Yeah.
Things, suggestions that don't make any sense. Yeah. Like, well, I think that it's like this,
Yeah, I do this when I'm alone, too, though.
Wow.
So,
listen, we're taking this road trip. We're keeping our eyes open for stuff. Maybe we can find your puppet. That would be really neat.
That'd be great.
I mean, we're talking about
it.
Oh,
what do you think?
Well, see, we're talking like quarter stuff, but if we find a neat one,
okay.
we'll grab it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so glad Darcy lent me your tape. She said, you need to hear this tape. And I said, oh, okay, I'll listen to it. And I just went, yeah.
Yeah, I was living in Houston. Maybe at Yiptown.
Yeah, pretty much. Less water.
Okay.
Well, I gotta.
You gotta work.
Tables. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Though.
Okay, great.
How's it going?
You're such art sluts. It's true. Poor little Daniel Johnston.
Daniel, I love you.
Yes, you're wonderful.
Album that I have, Yip Jump.
Which song are you going to do?
I like Speedy Motorcycle, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Your Grievances. You've got a sweetheart.
Sorry Entertainer.
And Chord Organ Blues. Everything's big in Texas. You know it is. I think I might have been a mistake. Oh, Chord Organ Blues. Chord Organ Blues. Oh, fun stuff.
Yeah,
it's so rare that there's music around you can sing to these days. You know what I mean? The 80s haven't been a sing-along type music so far.
Oh, I'm the new Mitch Miller.
I have a question for you.
Right on.
Have you ever heard Jad Fair, half Japanese?
No.
Really? I would if you get a chance at all, I'll give you a tape.
Jad Fair?
Yeah.
In fact,
if they don't have it at Record Exchange, it's over at Inner Sanctuary. So that's just one of my copies.
okay. You know what people in Columbia say when they hear you? They say, I've had a couple...
Columbia? The country?
Columbia, Missouri. No. It's two people have said, now this guy, don't tell me this guy hasn't listened to Jad Fair.
Yeah, Jad Fair.
Jad Fair.
I copied that tape that Klaus got. I've got that.
Jad Fair listened to me? Or what? Who is he?
I don't know. We wrote to him last year, and he
time.
never did write back. I don't know why. Yeah. But he started with his brother. It was Jad and David, and it was like neither of them knew how to play their instruments. So Jad would just play one chord stuff, and his brother would play drums. And they did these great songs like, Window
Amy
Shopping.
don't like me anymore.
Amy didn't like me anymore. Amy didn't
I can't feel love anymore. I can't feel love anymore.
And the one
I used to have my head on my sleeve, but I don't see it there anymore.
And Window Shopping with Cindy, and the rain's coming down.
Yeah. Get your tape.
Well,
Yeah.
That's why we came in.
Oh, yeah.
Say hi.
Yeah, thanks. I like to be tape recorded and have my pictures taken.
Well, great. Me too. Daniel Johnston, it was incredible. And it was really incredible. I mean, shit, I would say we're definitely Art Sluts, and we are, Daniel Johnston already is a fan club. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, really. Why not?
So great, God.
And he is wonderful. I didn't get a chance to talk to him last time because I wanted to be cool. I wanted to be like, yeah, Daniel, I really like your music, and here's a tape of mine, and I just thought I'd turn you on to it. And walk out like I really didn't want to sit there and give him a big hug. Oh, Daniel, I love you. So.
Well, I wouldn't do any of that shit today, right? When I look back at them, we're like, oh my God, we must have guardian angels, people.
Well, but you know what? There's also, I think there's primitive instincts too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, go on.
I mean, bad things have happened to every woman that I know. But they dropped us off at the side of the highway, and we walked to Gretchen's house and just showed up. Hey, we're here. And then, let's see. Okay, now I'm kind of mixing stories. But anyway, the first time Sheila and I came through New Orleans, blah, 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 ended up there. And then we had picked up these two guys. One was from Germany and one was from California, that Sheila and I were they're just like bed buddies for the night. And they were deadheads, and they were like, yeah, we're going to see the dead in Florida. And I was like, oh, well, I've never done that. And so I was like, I want to go. And the next morning, Sheila's like, well, I'm not going. And I was like, oh, okay, well, okay. It was kind of a little sad, but then she drove back. I did that, and then I ended up coming back to Missouri. Anyway, the first time, sorry, I'm being confusing. The first time dropping off the side of the road, Gretchen, I stayed there for a while. Sheila went back again, and we were riding back and forth. Or was Sheila there too, Pam? I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember if it was all four of us or if it was Teri. No, did you not come down?
I don't think Teri.
I had a job with the city of Columbia.
I just remembered
on the landscaping crew.
Ann was just like, we got to move to Austin. It's where the art scene is. We got to play music.
It's where the music was happening there. It really was happening there.
And so I went down with them, and then I ended up being in this, I guess it might have been friends at Gretchen's or something, in this little house with these two people.
Wait, you lived with Freddie. You lived with an anarchist.
Darcy.
Well, first of all, it was in this small house that was right under the airport, and every time the planes flew over, the house would shake, and you couldn't even hear yourself talk. I had to get out of there because at night the flying roaches would land all over me.
The palmetto bugs.
Oh my God.
Now, Pam, I remember that when I came to Austin to get you, you were with Freddie Bear, like the collage
wait a minute,
person?
I didn't finish. So after I had to move out of that house because I couldn't stand those bugs, and I moved into this other neighborhood that was right literally on the railroad tracks, the other side of the railroad tracks. So we were on the black side of town, and I lived with these other two people. I'm not sure they were really thrilled that I was living there, but they gave me this space. But I remember I would walk over to the Safeway or the grocery store, that was there, and I would be the only white person in the store. And I would think to myself, okay, this is what it feels like. Obviously, it doesn't feel the same way because the culture is dominant white. But I was like, and I would always just get really self-conscious and think that everybody was staring at me. Nobody was looking at me, but that's how I felt, And I remember at the time I was a runner, I liked to run, and so I'd go out in the evening and run, and I would run through all these. It was all black, people in the neighborhoods, out on their porches. It was summer and out barbecuing and everything, and people would be friendly and wave. But my two housemates were very upset. They told me I shouldn't run. I shouldn't be out there. I was going to get in trouble. I was going to get hurt. I never had that experience, but I think that's maybe, Teri, where I was when you came to get me.
Yeah, because I think you were living with the collage artist Freddie Bear that used to do the collages for Anarchy newspaper.
Okay.
There's two people that were associated with the Third Avenue Collective. And I remember I got dropped off, right? I was going out with this guy, Don Adams, and his brother was getting married, and so I bartered calligraphing his proposal to his girlfriend for the ride, and it was near that city.
Okay, so you were visiting someone who's getting married in Austin?
No, I was coming to rescue you because you were like, I'm depressed, I can't get out of here, and I'm like, I'm gonna go get Pam. I quit my fucking job, my secure job with the city on the landscaping crew. Everybody's like, don't quit, you'll never get that job back. It's a really good job, right? And I quit, and I got dropped off there, and then you had a little white truck. Okay, we either did acid or mushrooms.
I think I was borrowing that truck, right?
Okay. I don't remember.
Oh,
we did.
Was it a blue truck? A blue Toyota truck?
I don't remember.
It might have been.
Okay.
Would it belong to somebody?
Because, well, the first vehicle I ever owned was I got in Austin, and so here's another feminist chronology. The band that was before Meat Joy was called Girls in the Nose.
Yeah.
And that was Gretchen was in that, and there was evidently some feminists in Austin. And so one of the women,
Kay,
she had a Kay. It was
Kay Weber. She's like really famous, actually feminist.
Let's listen to another song by Meat Joy called "Another Pair."
Have such a great brain. Your
because
memory
I
is
have
stunning.
these books. I have Lady Unique Inclination of the Night. I have these little feminist zines that she did. It was brilliant goddess mythology stuff.
She sold me her truck for I think $200, but I had to like get approved basically because it had just bumper stickers like every feminist, every like Wiccan, blah blah blah, and she had to like meet me and like okay, I'll sell the truck to you. I think that
we got the truck and brought it to you.
That the truck ended up with you.
Yeah.
That I ended up leaving it in Austin. And
I think that might have been right because I did have a job. I was working at this restaurant.
It had no brakes.
I do.
It had no brakes.
I think I do remember somebody had loaned me a truck because I was getting back and forth to my restaurant job. Yeah.
Yep. And Pam, we did some kind of psychedelic. We either did acid or we did mushrooms because I remember those fucking flying palmetto bugs freaking me out. I was like, oh my God, flying birds. And I also saw this huge diva being jump out of a 6-foot aloe vera plant. And I painted it. And I still have that painting of this amazing being coming out of the plant.
That Powerful People song I wrote from a dream I had in Austin when I was feeling very depressed. And then I had that dream about looking up at the stars and they just all turned into butterflies. And I thought, okay, this is telling me something, you know.
Yeah.
You don't realize when you're so young in your 20s, you know, in your late 20s and you feel old, you know, for some reason. It's that weird thing.
An old soul in a young body.
And you don't realize how young you are and that you're just still forming your identity, you know. And I just felt so stuck.
We slept in the back of that. We slept in the back of that truck and almost froze.
One more truck story. Okay, so I ended up another road trip where I ended up hitchhiking back to Columbia. So I had my stuff was still in Austin, okay, and I decided I was going to move back to Columbia. And so we took the truck, me and Lingo took the truck, had no brakes, and we drove from Columbia to Austin. And so I would just downshift whenever we came up to a traffic light. Is that insane? And
the sound of metal on metal, sparks flying.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
So messed up.
Yeah, and then I saved Pam and we went back to Columbia.
Saved Pam.
Thank you, Teri.
Insane.
Yeah, I thought
so
going
funny.
to Austin was going to like change my life. And so one of the first things I did, I can't remember why I got separated from you and Sheila, but I went to the place where you could just throw out your guitar and put out a hat, and so I got out in front of the restaurant, I put out my hat, and I got my guitar, and I start singing, and they call the cops. So the cops come.
Oh, no! No
and the guy
busking?
walks up, and he starts telling me, ma'am, you can't play here. So I just kept singing directly to him. Like, I didn't stop. I was just like, and then I started making up a little song about playing on the streets of Austin and the cops coming to get me, but I'm just a folk musician. And he was just kind of
Rolling his eyes.
smiling,
Yeah,
and he's like,
okay.
yeah, ma'am, I know, but really, you can't do this here. I'm like, I thought this was Austin. I thought this is like what musicians do here. He's like, sorry, ma'am. And I'm like, this experience did not turn out the way that I thought it would.
Yeah.
And I ended up just working. I'm working, and then I'm living in this house, and I'm thinking, and I didn't have friends. I didn't have a lot of friends, and I can't remember spending that much time with you, Ann, and Sheila. So I can't remember how I got separated.
I think Sheila abandoned us, is what happened. But okay, so I have a busking story too, which is hilarious. Sheila and I were on one of our road trips. We ended up in New Orleans via, I can't remember how we got there, but we were in New Orleans, and we were like, we played on the street every place we went. So we went down to the French Quarter, and Sheila and I are like out there playing our Art Sluts songs, and all of a sudden there's this angry mime standing next to us. And
Angry mime.
And he started speaking, and he said, "You can't play here. This is my corner."
Oh my God.
Until next time, we're Art Sluts.
We're Art Sluts.
Art Sluts.
Okay.
One more time.
All right. Thanks for listening to Art Sluts Radio.
Hey, if you identify with the Art Sluts, explore our herstory at artsluts.net. That's ARTSLUTS.net. And purchase downloads of our music wherever you stream music.
All contributions and purchases will go to support Planned Parenthood.
Currently, 21 states have limited access to women's health care, including abortion, and 15 of those have a total ban.
Talking about your abortion experience, voting, and donating to support abortion rights will make a difference.
I hate to leave you, baby. I don't wanna have to go. It's just my music, baby, and I gotta do the show. What's your name?